So recently I made a community post and somebody said under there that I should make a video ranking every single boss track in the game, you know, all the music. And I actually thought that it was a very, very good idea. I have set up this entire tier list right here with every single boss theme in the game or even coming soon to the game, not even out yet. And today we're going to be ranking them from worst to best. So without further ado, let's begin by talking about Boss 1. I'm pretty sure this is obviously the first boss theme in the entire game. And if I'm remembering correctly, it's also pretty good. Let's give it a quick listen. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but you know, just a quick little demo. Yeah, I mean, this is just a classic song. I don't know, you can't really go wrong with this one. I feel like it's the flagship Terraria boss theme. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty short song, you know, it only lasts for about a minute or a minute and a half, and then it starts to loop. But, I mean, to be fair, a lot of Terraria songs are kind of like that. I definitely wouldn't call Boss 1 the best soundtrack in the game or the best song. Definitely not one of the best boss themes either, but I think it's a fair place to put it in the A tier. It's simply a classic, and I think it's definitely the most recognizable boss theme in the game by far, or maybe, you know, maybe not, but I think it's definitely up there. And moving on, let's talk about Boss 2. I know I'm kind of spoiling it here, but this is one of my personal favorite tracks in the game. Let's just get started with this great build up at the beginning. Oh my goodness, man, it's so good. I don't think there's really a lot to say here. Again, it's a pretty short song, just like Boss 1, but I do think it's a lot better. It has a very mechanical sound to it, you know, it sounds very grimy, very menacing, which I think kind of fits the Wall of Flesh. I know it's also for the twins, but I always associate this with the Wall of Flesh. I know this might be crazy, but I'm going to put this in the S tier already. I'm not going to try to put a bunch in the S tier, but Boss 2 is just a classic. Genuinely, it is such a great song. And then next up here, of course, we have Terraria OC Boss 3, because, you know, Boss 1, Boss 2, Boss 3, very good names over here. Let's not even waste some time, let's just quickly listen to it. It's a lot slower, I feel like. Yeah, that part's really good. That's phenomenal. Very clicky sound, you know, it's very, what's the word, 8-bit? Yeah, okay, this one's actually really good. So I thought that this one wasn't as good as Boss 1 or Boss 2 at first, you know, for my first few listens through playing the actual game. But I think my mind has actually been changed a little bit. I think Boss 3 actually kind of deserves to be in the A tier. I'll put it above Boss 1. I think that Boss 3 is actually very, very, very good. Very 8-bit, you know, very mechanical. That sound is one of my favorite things about the Terraria soundtrack, though. That ability to mix, like, those orchestral, like, real-sounding instruments with, like, the weird 8-bit, like, chiptune stuff. So yeah, Boss 3, it's probably closer to the S tier, but I think A tier is just fair, because we gotta remember, there are some really, really good tracks coming up. Okay, so next up we have Boss 4. This one's for, I think, Golem and a couple other bosses. Maybe it's just for Golem. I don't know. Let's begin. Again, much slower, much more, you know, slow-paced. Yeah, I love this part. Okay, so the song kind of builds up. It starts off slow, boring. It's not very good for the first, like, 20 seconds, but then it starts to build and build and build, and yeah, it gets a lot better, I think. To me, this song doesn't really hit the same as the first 3 boss tracks in the game. Maybe it's because it's for Golem or something, and I just don't like that boss fight as much, but I still think it's a decent song. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I feel like if there's any song that's gonna be put anywhere like B or C tier, it's probably gonna be Boss 4. Anyway, let's move on. And now we've got Plantera. You've probably heard it a million times because these Terraria people just do not shut up about this song, but it's for pretty good reason. Let's give it a quick listen. Yeah, man, this song is sick. I mean, is there really anything to say? It's so good. This track was inspired off of Plantera, like a real rock band, and I guess it probably has like a similar sound to their music, which is a pretty cool touch. I like that. I genuinely believe that the Plantera boss fight would not be praised at all if not for this soundtrack. You know, you ask anybody, why do you like Plantera? Oh, the music. I'm gonna put it in the S tier, obviously. I'll put it above Boss 2 as well. I feel like this is probably the easiest thing we're going to rank in this whole video, because everybody loves the Plantera theme. It is phenomenal. Now it's time for our boy Moonlord, the final boss in the entire game. Here we go. I mean, it's alright, like... Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the best part of the song near the end here. This might be the only boss theme in the game that I straight up just don't like. I don't know if you guys would agree or disagree, but this song just doesn't really give off that finale feeling. Moonlord is the final boss in the game, and I feel like that soundtrack kind of undersells it. It's pretty underwhelming, so I'm gonna put it in the C tier. I don't really like it. Now we're gonna be moving on to the newer songs, the songs that were either added in 1.4 or, you know, in the future, which is gonna be pretty interesting. 1.4 kind of has a different sound to it, so we'll see. Dun 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 dun. The song just doesn't really feel intense to me at all. I mean, it's Queen Slime. It shouldn't feel intense, but I don't know about this one, man. Queen Slime, the song, has a very triumphant sound to it, obviously. It sounds powerful, you know, you're fighting the Queen Slime, you're fighting royalty over here. But the song itself doesn't really have any good parts, at least in my opinion. It has some parts where it's okay. You know, it's groovy, you can listen to it, but it doesn't really stand out to me. It's a very easy song to forget, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. And now we're gonna be moving on to the next Journey's End boss, the Empress of Light. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I just love this song, who doesn't? It kind of has that triumphant sound in a similar way to the Queen Slime, except it's used in a much better way. This part in particular that I'm about to show, for whatever reason, might be my, like, favorite little part of any song in Terraria, just this right here. Like, I don't know what it is, man, but it is groovy, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you'd be crazy to put this anywhere lower than the S tier. I think it's probably one of the best songs in the entire game, just regardless of, you know, if it's a boss or not. It has that Journey's End sound, but in a much better way than a song like Queen Slime does. You know, it feels like they really utilized everything they could. So yeah, not much more to say about that one. Empress of Light, very good. Now this one's pretty interesting. We're gonna be listening to Duke Fishron's theme next. I always forget about this, but Duke Fishron only got his theme added in 1.4 as well. Before that, he used Boss 1, which I'm very glad they changed because Boss 1 does not fit Duke Fishron at all. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. It's very intense, you know, gives off that feeling that you kind of need when you're fighting Duke Fishron, one of the hardest boss fights in the whole game. Dun, dun. It is so bouncy, man. This is a bouncy song right here. Wow, what a way to end the song. This song kind of reminds me of Boss 4 a little bit, like it starts off pretty slow and boring, but then it becomes very fast and intense and like very good near the end. The song is definitely better than Boss 4 in a lot of ways though. I kind of don't know if I should put it in A tier or B tier. On one hand, I definitely do prefer it to Boss 4 like I said earlier, but on the other hand, I feel like it's not really as iconic as Boss 1 or Boss 3. Duke's theme always kind of slips through the cracks for me. I don't know. I feel like B B tier is the only place I can really put it. Remember, B tier is still good. I'm just saying that in comparison to these songs in the A and the S tier, I don't think that I'd put Duke Fishron quite up there. The final song that's actually in the game right now for a boss fight is Deerclops, which I'm pretty sure isn't actually a Terraria song in itself. It's taken from Don't Starve Together. But nonetheless, let's give it a quick listen. Oh my goodness. Man, I really wish Deerclops wasn't a horrible boss fight because this song is so fun. Here it comes. Dude, it just goes from the left to the right. If you're using headphones, I'm sure you can hear it. It just changes which direction in your ear it's going. It's very cool. Alright, very neat song, better than I remembered if I'm being honest. Again, I kinda hate Deerclops, so I don't really fight this boss often, and therefore, I don't really hear this song often. I feel like you gotta put this in the A tier, even though it's not technically a Terraria song. I'm pretty sure it's just a rendition of a Don't Starve Together song. It is definitely good enough to justify being put in A tier on its own. I mean, as a song in itself, I think I probably prefer it to Boss 1 and Boss 3, if I'm being completely honest, but I'll put it below these two just because, again, it's not its own original song. You know, it's taken from a completely different game. And now we're going to be moving on to the new Terraria boss music for 1.4.5, starting with the Eater of Worlds. I actually have not listened to this song in its entirety yet, so this is basically going to be my first, live reaction and then ranking. Let's go. Alright, well, a little intense off the start. Oh my goodness. It's a little slow. You know, it's intense, but it's slow at the same time. It never really leads to anything, though. I feel like I'm always expecting some sort of big drop or, like, climax, and it never really arrives. Very otherworldly, if I'm being honest. You know, all the choirs and the voices and stuff. Kinda sounds like it would be in Terraria Otherworld, or, you know, the Otherworld soundtrack. I think that it's starting to loop here, actually, so I basically listened to the entire thing. My honest thoughts after my first listen, it's pretty good. I don't think that it's as bad as Queen Slime or Moonlord. I don't think that it's as good as Deerclops Boss 1 or Boss 3. I think B tier is a pretty fair spot. Boss 1 doesn't really feel right for the Eater of Worlds, so I'm very glad they're giving him, you know, his own original, unique song. But in itself, I don't really think it's, like, spectacular or anything. Anyway, the last song to talk about for today is another new Terraria boss theme, The Twins, my favorite boss fight in the entire game. I haven't listened to this song in its entirety either, so let's do that. Is the music coming in? Okay, there it is. Alright, feels like it's building up to something. Come on, tell me, come on, give me the drop. It's gotta drop at some point. Okay, I like this part. Building up again. Okay, this is the best part for sure. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this one, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think it starts looping here. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like this song. I'm not being paid off by Relogic just yet, so I don't have, you know, any incentive to lie to you guys. I don't think the song is great. I don't think it really fits the Twins. Like, if that song was given to Skeletron or Skeletron Prime, I think that would actually be really good. I think that would fit really well. But for the Twins, I just don't really like it. The Twins is a fast-paced, energetic, you know, constantly dodging kind of boss fight. And that song was very slow, methodical, menacing. I don't know, I just feel like it's a good song, but it doesn't really fit the Twins boss fight that well. I definitely think it's better than Queen Slime and Moonlord, though, so I'll put it here in the B tier. My honest suggestion, just give it some sort of drop, give it a part where it starts going way faster, and then go back to that, you know, slower section, Relogic, that would be great. And there you go, that's the finished product of the Terraria boss themes tier list. I feel like something's missing, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is, so let me know in the comments if something is missing, and let me know in the comments anything you agree with, disagree with, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.